Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's session. I am Tabang Manenge. As you know, we're talking all things real estate, all things finances. I've been not producing videos for a while now. It is safe now to say I'm a COVID survivor. We thank God for that. So today I want to just do an extension of how to improve, an extension video of how to improve your credit score. I've already done 2 videos on this topic. I'm gonna put the links on the description. So if you have actually not watched those videos, go and watch those videos so that you get more informed on credit score, because credit score is very much important for you to be able to get finances from the bank, because there's so many people, especially right now in COVID times, where they've lost their jobs and things are not going well, or there's no consistent income. So many people are struggling to buy houses or to get finances from the banks because their credit score is very low. So it is for this reason that I'm doing this in extension, so that people can actually improve their credit score, so that they can actually get finances that they want. Okay, so I'm just gonna summarize this because it is in full detail on the on the other videos, and then I'm just gonna focus more on what we're talking about today. So as you know, there's 5 criteria that actually are used to determine your credit score, which is your payment history. It amounts for 35% of your credit score, which means that you must always pay your bills in full and at the right time, right just on time. Otherwise your credit score will be much lower. The second one is credit utilization. You must always make sure that your credit utilization is below 30%, but it must not also be 0, because if it's 0, it actually means that you have actually not used the money that is given to you. But I'm just gonna go into detail into this, because this is what we're gonna focus on in terms of how to actually improve your credit score. And this credit utilization actually amounts for 30% of the credit the credit score, right? And then the length of the credit history, it just means how long have you had credit, right? How long have you had credit? It doesn't matter what kind of credit, right? And then new inquiries, which amounts for 10%. The length of the credit history amounts for 15%. So if we are going to the inquiries of new credit, this just means that every time you apply for a new credit, you actually drop points. So it means that the less you do application, the better for you. So which means that you must only do new inquiries only when it's necessary to do so, because if you just do it for the sake of just doing it, then you're actually dropping points. Okay. And the last one, which is not the least, is the credit mix, which amounts for 10%. This actually just talks of what kind of credit do you have in your profile. Like you have a home loan, you have a car, you have a personal loan somewhere, you have a credit card. That credit mix is actually boost your credit score. But I'm not saying that you must just do any credit that you do not need, right? So let's come to the main focus of today's video, which is how do you actually improve your credit score that is stagnant, that now it's not improving for a while. I'm gonna focus on credit utilization, right, which is in the means of using a credit card, right? So a credit card is actually a revolving credit, which is a type of credit that does not have a fixed number of payments, in contrast to installment credit. So if we're talking about installment credit, we're talking about when you buy a house, right? You have a fixed number of installment and a fixed amount of payment that you need to make to actually repay that amount. But in terms of credit card, it is not like that. It is set that normally you will get around 3% or something, which is the monthly installment. But you can actually pay much more than that. You can actually make sure that you pay it in full every single month of what you have actually used. It is really up to you. But a revolving credit permits an account holder to borrow money repeatedly up to the set credit limit while repaying the portion of the current balance in due, which is due in regular payments, right? So this is what we call a revolving credit. So how then do you actually use the credit card to actually improve your credit score? The most important thing that you actually need to know is that you need to understand what is a credit card close date or a statement date. So the credit bureaus, when they look at your statement, they don't look at it through the month. They look at the statement date. What is happening on the statement date, right? Remember, I spoke of credit utilization. So credit utilization is just equals to the amount that you owe divided by the credit limit that you have set for that account. So what you need to make sure is that you understand when is actually your statement date. So when you get that statement date, you must make sure that on that day, if we are looking at the credit utilization, it must be below 30%, right? So I will say keep it between 10% and 30%. Remember I said if you keep it at 0, it actually means that you have not used the credit. So you don't get credit for not using credit. You understand? So you must just make sure that the credit utilization is between 10% and 30%. In that case, you improve your credit score. So the most important thing, if I have to repeat, is you must understand on the statement. They will give you a monthly statement, the bank that you are working with. So you must just make sure that you understand when is your statement date, right? Or the credit card close date. That statement date is the date that the credit bureaus look at your credit utilization. So you must just make sure that on that date again, that you are sitting between 10% and 30% of the amount that is used, right? And as a bonus tip, for those people that want to use credit card for free, then it means you must understand the payment due date or the credit card due date. What is this date? This date, remember, when you're using a credit card, they give you some sort of benefits and all that. And there's a time period that they give you where they do not charge interest on the card. So what does that mean? It means normally on my own, I have like 55 days where I can use and not be charged interest, right? That means that I use that credit card facility for free, right? So I have to understand when is my payment due date, because if that payment due date passes, then it means that they start charging you interest, right? So I don't want that. So I understand that this is my payment due date. It means all the amount that I have used, right, before the payment due date, I need to pay them in full, right? Then they don't charge me nothing, right? So you can use the credit card facility for free, but you just need to make sure that you understand with the bank that you are taking this credit facility, how it works and all that, right? So this is all for today, guys. So I'm gonna see you on the next one. Cheers.